Kevin J. Johnston here, Canada's #1 tax expert. This is part 2 of what you've just listened to in reference to the province of Ontario demanding $440,000 from me because of a corporation that I had purchased, calling it the employer health tax. I can assure you that it's a tax that has nothing to do with healthcare in the province of Ontario. It is a payroll tax. As if you're not taxed enough, you have to pay this tax on top of all the other taxes you pay corporately if you have too many staff making too much money. This is why you have to let me do all of your payroll. I'm about to give this auditor a very difficult time, which of course you've got the right to do, but I do it better. Get a hold of me right away if you want to get rid of auditors. If you have corporate debt, call me, get a hold of me, let me buy your debt so you don't have to go through any of what I'm about to put this individual through.
Good morning, Christy speaking. How can I help you?
Hi, Christy. My name's Kevin J. Johnson. I am the new owner of Incorporated. I understand that you need to speak to me in some capacity.
Yes. Okay.
You
I
got
do recognize it, but I don't. 1 second.
No worries. Okay, I got just a couple of quick questions here. So you're not with the CRA, you're with the province of Ontario, is that right?
Correct. The government of Ontario, yes.
Okay, and
which is not.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I was just going to make sure. Yes, there is a distinction. So the government of Ontario and Canada Revenue Services are separate.
But you work together to issue taxes like what we're talking about here.
Specifically in this case for employer health tax, it's not technically together. The government of Ontario, the employer health tax is an Ontario tax. It's not a federal tax.
All right. And the reason I'm calling today is I got a phone call from a collections officer. Now, again, I'm not upset, so there's no animosity in this phone call. I don't want you to interpret any animosity here at all. I'm just curious. She had called me asking for $440,000+, but was unable to answer my questions on what the tax was. She just said she was in collections. Fine, I understand that. We got your name and extension. Thought I'd give you a call and get to the bottom of what this bill is. I bought the corporation in March. I did quite a bit of due diligence. We came across a bill for $440,000. Had no idea what it was. Sent a letter off to the province asking for clarification. I asked for it to be done within 30 days, or the province would be admitting that there was no debt. We finally got a phone call almost 6.5 months later. So could you please explain to me what this is?
Yes, yes, of course. So essentially the amount that you mentioned is from the employer health tax audit that was on the company, I guess, prior to your purchasing of it. So employer health tax is a tax that's on the employer based on the remunerations, salaries, and wages paid to its employees.
I see. So you don't put a tax on the company until after wages have been reported to the CRA. Is that correct?
That would be correct, yes. So for employer health tax, also known as EHT, it's filed annually, March 15th of the following year.
By whom?
So by the company. So for example, would have had to file an annual return to the government of Ontario saying that they've paid X amount of dollars for their employees for the prior year, and pay, generally the tax rate is 1.95%.
Okay, so there must have been a lot of salaries paid for there to be $440,000 owed.
Yes, correct. So the audit that was conducted, it was actually for 7 years worth of employer health tax that was unpaid.
Okay. Now, in the audit, I just need to understand the dynamic of the audit. You called the company, is that what happened, or did you just show up?
No. So for my audits, they were all done, I guess, like remotely, I would say. So we would send letters as well as call.
So you did not actually go to the office and conduct an audit?
Correct. There was no
Okay.
field audit conducted. It was all conducted remotely.
All right. And the audit is done how? Files get sent to you and you scrutinize? Is that what happens?
Yes. So we would request for information.
Right.
The information would get sent back to us, and then I would review the information that was provided. Yes.
Was the information actually sent to you by?
1 second. Let me go back to my file. Okay, so I did actually meet with the, I guess the individual at the time, which was, I did meet with him with a Google meeting, and let's see here, I did not receive any information from him.
Okay, so you got, first off, all right. I'm starting to see a bit of a breakdown here. So you spoke to,
Yes.
at that particular point, he did not give you any information. So this $440,000 you're looking for is just a guess by you. Is that correct?
It is a estimated assessment based on numbers that we did obtain from the CRA.
But still a guess.
An estimate, yes.
It's an estimate. And the CRA had also issued an assessment, which was a wild guess. So you're guessing off of a guess. Do I have that right?
I'm not sure how CRA gets their numbers, but
Okay.
Again, so that's what we're getting. We're getting it from CRA. How CRA got those numbers, again, I don't know from that side.
All right. But this guess that you've made, now that you're telling me that it's a guess, how enforceable is a wild guess?
So as per the legislation, so we do follow, I guess, accordingly. We do advise the taxpayer of our estimate or our guess that you're saying. At the time, the taxpayer did not respond to the assessment, and so we can use that as we provide them with 30 days of providing with any information to change that, to provide us supporting information that, for example, the estimate or the guess is incorrect. However, we did not receive any response from the taxpayer at the time. So for then, after the 30 days, we are able to submit the audit file.
But it's still a guess. You're submitting your guess.
Yes.
Okay. So there's absolutely no evidence that you're basing this off of. It's just your guess.
So the Ministry of Finance is basing the numbers off of CRA. And if you're saying from, I guess, your information, you're saying the guess is, the CRA is also guessing the numbers?
Yes.
Then it would appear as, I guess, as you see it.
Okay. Wow. Do you know, if I pulled that stunt, I'd be arrested. You know that, right? It's just, I'm going to tell people they owe me money, which is a guess based off of someone else's guess. And then I try to enforce it. I know for a fact the police will be at my door within 5 minutes. I'm floored at what I'm hearing. Now, again, I'm not insulting you because you didn't write the legislation, but I'm kind of blown away here. And I'm saying this with a smile on my face. Wow. Congratulations on the business model. So I guess the next thing I would ask here is, when you spoke to the previous owner in the Zoom call or the Google Meet call, was he informed of his right to remain silent? Was that ever stated by you to him?
So we do send out a demand letter. So essentially it indicates that if no information is provided, an estimated assessment will be raised.
Okay.
So in that case, I would say.
All right. So you are suggesting that if someone does not cooperate with you, you're just going to guess at what they owe and then try to enforce it?
I guess I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
I'll rephrase the question. I want to make it a bit easier for both of us to get to the bottom of it. You spoke with, when you spoke to him, did you inform him of his right to remain silent and or to have legal counsel present?
So no, an audit does not, I guess, work in that capacity.
Why would it not work in that capacity? You're going to be grilling somebody on personal information.
So it's the company's information. So as an Ontario business, an audit, as per the legislation, we do have the right to review the books and records.
Well, you have the right to ask, but you don't have the right to force someone to speak to you. That would be compelling. Do you not think?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I can comment on that, but this is how, I guess, the procedures work in an audit capacity.
It just doesn't sound legal to me. That's the only concern I have here. All right. So after you spoke to Chris, you told him that he had 30 days to do some paperwork for you, or you would assess him and take $440,000 from him. Do I have that right?
So no, I did actually give him some additional time to provide me with the information. So we were able to extend it. I guess initially I met with him in September, and it wasn't until, I guess, December is when he still hadn't responded or provided me with any information. And then the assessment was finally raised at the end of February.
I see. Okay, I'm going to interpret that. And again, this is not me being rude. This is just my logical brain thinking out loud here. Your department of the Ontario government contacts a client saying, we want to audit you. And you do not inform the client of their right to remain silent nor to acquire legal counsel. You then issue a statement, which could be interpreted as a threat, that if you do not do this paperwork that we are not going to pay you for, we will force you to give us money to the tune of $440,000 here. That's how my logical brain interprets this. Did I get that wrong?
If that is your understanding, I don't know how I can assist with that. But yes, as per the legislation, we should have the right to access all of the books and records as an auditor.
But what happens when the person refuses?
So in that case, we do make the estimated assessment.
I see. So no prison time, no criminal charges, cops don't show up. You just take a wild guess and then try to threaten the individual to pay that. Do I have that correct?
As an auditor, I assess on the information that's provided to me.
I see. Okay, I'm not saying this to be cruel or cold-hearted or anything else, but this is my interpretation of criminal law. Is you issue a statement to saying that possibly the company owes money, but you don't have any evidence. You want to essentially snitch on himself to tell you what the company owes in the way of taxes so that you can later try to get that money from him. But it's based on what you perceive he owes, not what he actually owes. Then you make the statement that if you do not comply, I will assess an arbitrary number and then try to enforce that number. I'm going to interpret that as intimidation. That's section 423 of the criminal code. That's 5 years in prison, followed by extortion and fraud. That's my logical brain telling me that that's what you are doing. And regrettably, what's happening here is you're using your job title to commit those 3 crimes. Please tell me I've got this wrong.
So I don't know criminal law, so I don't think I can comment on that.
I see. Okay, I do know criminal law, and it sounds to me like not 1 but 3 crimes were committed in this transaction that you were trying to engage in, that he was not legally obligated to engage with you in the first place. So when you did not get paperwork from him, it's probably because you did not make an offer to pay his hourly rate. Did you make an offer to pay the hourly rate?
Okay. I don't know if we're going to be able to get anywhere with this.
Well, I'm the owner of the
Would you like
company,
to speak
so
with?
hold on. I'm the owner of the business now. I bought the shares, everything. I own everything, including any debts. So I need to determine if this is a valid debt. If you want $440,000 from me, obviously I have to do my due diligence. And if you're going,
And I understand that.
yeah, and you're the point of
So
contact right now
from
for the Ontario government.
yes, yes. So right now, from what you're providing me, the information that you provided me, I don't have anything, I guess, additional that I can add
Okay.
to assist you.
All right.
So if you would like, I can direct you to my manager,
Not
my
really.
audit
No, I'll
manager.
tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because normally I bill my time out at $995 per hour. And currently you're not paying me that amount. But what you've just essentially admitted to here is the commission of 3 separate crimes. So if you're going to pursue me now as the new owner of for $440,000 after having admitted you took a wild guess, then I have no choice but to go to the police and file criminal charges. And the only way out of this now for you would be to simply not pursue this based on the fact that it's fraud.
So right now, again, the audit has already concluded.
Okay.
So
you're going to
what
pursue
if
me for $440,000, is that correct?
I myself, no.
Okay, but you were the
So
auditor.
again,
You were the auditor who put that amount down. Who made the decision to attribute $440,000 of debt to the corporation? Was that you or your manager?
so I submit the estimated assessment, or like you said, guess, and then my manager approves it.
I see. So it was you with his approval, which makes you both guilty. That's the problem. So who's your manager? I'd like to perhaps add his name to the complaint I have to file.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you.
So my manager's name
Yes, please.
is Harold McHale.
Could you spell that, please?
Of course, ERROL, Harold, and McHale is MCHAYLE.
Okay. And how do I reach him?
So I guess you've reached me with my extension with the toll-free number. I can provide you with his extension as well.
Actually, no, I called your cell phone number directly.
Oh, okay. That's no problem. So
I wouldn't mind calling Errol directly to his cell phone if I could, please. I really want to get to the bottom of this.
So you can get to it with the extension as well.
All right.
So
So
it's
my assumption is it's 1-866-668-8297. Is that the number you'd like me to call?
Yes, and then I can provide you with his extension.
Please.
Yes, it's 21014.
Okay, I'm going to give Errol a call right away. I would just maybe, this is just me offering my 2 cents worth for the rest of your days. I don't think that this is the line of work that's right for anybody who has moral and ethical codes of their own. The crimes you've committed here and just admitted to are very severe. Fraud and extortion will get you about 14 years. It's not a good scene. Now, the question I also have is, would the province of Ontario pay for your lawyer should the charges go through and you actually have to go to court on this? That's a really serious consideration to make. Being an auditor, when you're using threats and wild guesses, is a criminal act, whether you say you have legislation on your side or not. You got to remember, the legislation does not circumvent criminal law. Criminal law is the top law, and that's the only one I care about. It's the only one I don't break. Everything else is merely a suggestion, as you have now indicated. Life advice, take it with a grain of salt or take it seriously. I'm not going to force you to do anything, but I am going to tell you that this $440,000 seems to be fraudulent, and you're going to have to prove it exists before I pay it. Can you prove it exists?
Sorry, are you?
It's a
So
question.
again,
It's a question now. Can you prove
my
this debt exists?
based on the information provided to me, yes.
You can prove that your wild guess is a debt that exists.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'm looking very forward to.
Based on the information provided to me, yes.
Well, you said that you weren't given any information.
The information I received is from CRA.
Okay. And I
Canada
just told
Revenue
you that the
Services.
CRA took a wild guess as well.
Okay. So I don't know exactly how they're getting their information.
Well, but I'm
So
telling you that it's fraudulent.
from
What they did is they committed fraud as well. So you're basing your fraud off of someone else's fraud. That's now a new charge. That's conspiracy. Like, this is pretty serious
okay,
stuff.
and if there's supporting information that was provided to me at the time, I could have definitely made a different assessment. But like I said,
But you didn't.
no
You chose.
information was received.
Hold on. No, but you didn't make a different decision. You decided to threaten the individual, not tell him of his rights. And when they didn't cooperate with you, you decided to just arbitrarily select a number. And now you're trying to enforce that by having collection officers call me to tell me that there's a $440,000 debt that you can't prove exists. The only evidence you're going to hand me is an illegal assessment made by the CRA. And then you're telling me that it's your job and you're somehow protected by legislation. I'm telling you that you're not. And you don't sound one bit concerned. And that's the part that frightens me, is that you seem to think that you've got the right to do this. So could we just go ahead and have this $440,000 reduced to zero so I can carry on with my day?
So I don't have the power to do that.
Well, then you better talk to the person that does, because I'm holding you accountable for this. I don't know anybody else at your institution. I only know you. And unfortunately, you've had, I guess we'll call it the rotten luck to meet me. I am the only one in the country that pursues this to its very end. I do not like being told I have to give people money when I never signed a contract in the first place. And the person who's telling me I owe money is basing it off of a wild guess that they committed. So you are the one who's liable for this, whether your manager approved your decision or not. You made the choice. You're the one that had the gun. You're the one that pulled the trigger. You are entirely accountable. I'm not happy about this. I'm not angry, but I'm going to say I'm not happy. So what do we do? Are you going to talk to your manager to get rid of this debt, or do we have to do this through the criminal courts?
I can talk to my manager and see what he says.
Okay.
I
tell you what. That's a fair answer. That is a very fair answer, and I appreciate you saying so. So tell you what we'll do here. I'm going to wait until Monday. I won't do anything with the courts until Monday on this file. So that gives you today, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to speak to your manager and recognize that you've made a very big mistake here, and that if you correct it between now and Monday, I will forgive it, forget it happened, carry on with life, and do what I need to do to restructure the company. But beyond that, Monday, I have to make my choice. And I'm pretty sure I've already made my decision. I'd like to give you my phone number if I could, please. I would love to get a phone call directly from you.
Sure.
It is, just so you understand, I am not going to issue any threats to you at all. I'm not telling you that you have to do anything. I'm suggesting that you do this. I'm asking nicely that you do this, so that I do not have to escalate my life's decisions. $440,000 of unprovable debt is a huge inhibition to my life, massive. And I cannot let that go. I must defend me. I must defend my corporation, my staff, my family, my financial future. I must defend it at all costs using every legal means at my disposal. I will not break the law.
Okay, I understand.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been very enlightening. I do appreciate it.
No problem. So I will, I guess, speak to you on, or I think actually Monday's a holiday right now. So
why don't we do this?
Tuesday,
you know what? You are correct. You are absolutely correct. So let's extend this to the end of the day on Tuesday of next week. How's that sound? I'm a very reasonable guy.
Okay.
Fabulous. I am looking
So
so
yeah,
forward to the
so I can
conversation.
sounds good.
Great. Have a great day. Take care. Bye now.
Bye.
And that's the problem with auditors, whether they are provincial or federal or municipal or regional or anything else. They don't know the law. They don't seem to understand that their legislation that says you can do something does not mean you must do something. And when the legislation says you can make a phone call, the legislation does not say, by the way, if you do, we will protect you from criminal law, no matter how many criminal laws you break. So she admits to committing crimes and doesn't know what to do. She has no idea what to do. She completely violated the previous owner's rights. And if she's going to demand $440,000 from me, based on a guess that she pulled from the CRA, who also made a guess, and they all guessed, I know that they did because the paperwork has not been submitted. I know this because I did not submit it. It's fraud. And I will pursue this to its very limit, if only to make a point that we, the people, have got the power to crush auditors who are trying to steal from us. This is theft. She didn't get any money yet, so I can't charge her with theft, but this is extortion. She's telling me I got to give her money, and it's based on a guess that her manager approved. Wow. KevinJJohnston, sell me your corporation. Let me handle people like this. If you've got corporate debt, let me take it from you. And then I'm the one who deals with the auditors and files the charges and files lawsuits, and you get to go to the beach and have yourself a pina colada and a good time. Go to KevinJJohnston.biz, B-I-Z, right now if you want to sell me your corporation. Fill out the form. Give me your phone number. A lot of people forget that step. And if you want to have me take over your payroll so people like this never contact you, KevinJJohnston.com. Let us know you want us to do your payroll. We'll take it over, and all your tax problems are going away for the rest of your life. So long as I'm alive, you'll never pay tax.